lovely freaks, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Amanda.
And I'm Hannah.
And if you're new here, hi, welcome. If you like things strange and unusual, you can go ahead and hit that follow or subscribe button. You can also head down to the description box, and you will see a link that will take you to our social media, Instagram, Facebook, all that jazz.
And all that jazz.
And also, I'm just going to kind of plug in our Instagram right here. It's at Lovely Freaks Podcast. So, super simple. You can just type all that in and it should pop up for you. You want to definitely follow us on there because that's where we do most of our
announcements.
Yeah, stuff at.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think that's pretty much it. We don't really have much we're going to discuss at the beginning of this. But, so today, we're going to do things a little bit different. We're actually going to, I guess, talk off script. I don't really know.
Yeah,
we're just going to ramble about the Egyptians and aliens and all that good stuff. And we're going to talk about some other places where conspiracy theorists have theorized that maybe aliens built. So that's basically what we're going to talk about today. If you're new here, we usually don't do this. We usually have like not a script, but I usually take notes, and I don't really have any notes for today. We're just going to Google and talk, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah. We've listened to a podcast about this before.
Yeah, and then
like paused it and talked about it.
Yeah, and I've watched Ancient Aliens on History Channel.
History Channel, yeah.
I watched that forever ago, and I haven't watched all the episodes, but I've made it pretty far. So, anywho, quick little thing for those of you that don't know. Yes, we do believe in extraterrestrial life forms exist. We have seen a UFO. However, if you want to hear that podcast, you can scroll all the way down. I think it's like the 4th episode, and it's the Pascagoula / our UFO story is what it's called. And you can listen to that. But if you didn't hear it, then I'll tell you right here. We just quickly
our UFO story?
Yeah. Okay. I was a teenager, and I was in the car with my mom and dad. Hannah was a baby. She didn't really remember much of it, but she's seen other stuff later on in life. And the UFO, we stepped out of the car, looked up, there it was. It kind of followed us home or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it had lights underneath it.
Kind of darted away quickly.
Yeah. And then it was
sound.
No sound. And then it turned up on its side, and in the blink of an eye, it was gone. So,
yeah.
You don't have to believe us if you don't want to. I really don't care. So, anyway, my husband doesn't even really believe me, I don't think. He's like, I don't know about that. But anyways, so yeah. Anything you want to add to this story?
No.
So, talking about Egypt, it's pretty crazy how there's actually a lot of places that a lot of different pyramids and stuff all over the world. There's also like, what is it, Stonehenge, I believe?
Yeah.
Some people think that aliens made that. Some people, Easter Island.
Island. Yeah.
The faces. Some people think that aliens made that. I'm not really sure necessarily about all the stuff, like, the history behind that. But I do know some history on the pyramids, and that's what we're going to kind of talk about as well.
I didn't know about the Easter Island because that makes sense, because it just looks like those are like really huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they're really sculpted perfectly. Like, how did humans do that?
Carved from stone, the nearly 900 human figures are sprinkled along the flanks of the island's extinct volcanoes. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
It's cool.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, apparently there's also a face on Mars. Did you know that? See that?
Yeah.
And we're gonna post these pictures up there so you'll see what we're talking about. But yeah, there's a lot of things like the Mars rovers have thought that they've seen on Mars as well.
Do you think there's aliens on Mars, but we haven't like discovered everything?
Well, that's another thing I was going to kind of talk about. So, Mars Odyssey in 2002, they actually detected ice on Mars. And so, like, that could very well mean that there's water, which could sustain life. So, I mean, any sort of life. The only thing is we haven't seen people, but like I said, you saw the face, and then there's other pictures.
Have they ever detected, like, or seen anything, caught anything on camera? I mean, if they did, I wouldn't doubt that the government isn't telling us, like, or showing us those photos, like, oh yeah, by the way, there's an alien on the moon and Mars. I'm sure they just don't tell us.
If you guys heard me typing, sorry about it. I'm trying to look for that picture. There's like a bunch of different things. There's like, so there's these pictures of like different objects on Mars. Sometimes they think that they've seen like the face that I showed you. And then there's something else. What the hell? I typed in Mars photos of people. And
there's
brought
this
up
little
like,
alien that's so cute. Look at him.
Yeah, it brought up like
a jellyfish-looking
CGI
alien.
Shit.
He's so cute.
That's not what I wanted to see, damn it. Okay, whatever. Anyways.
Let's go back to the Egyptians.
Yeah, back to the Egyptians. So, Egypt is, if you guys didn't know, is in northern Africa. So, the Egyptians, they kind of had like a high society lifestyle. Like, everybody had a job. There was farmers, there was teachers, they definitely, I would have loved to have just been like someone that could go back in time. If anybody has a time traveling machine out there, please let me know, because I just want to go back in time and go to that
the
time.
Egyptians.
Yeah.
They had like
They
makeup.
They loved makeup, they loved jewelry,
which is like, is really crazy, because it's like, is the Egyptians before Christ or after Christ? Can we think?
It's
before
it's
Christ?
both.
Oh, it's both.
Like, their civilization was in between. It was before and after. After their civilization kind of collapsed.
But it's kind of like crazy because they didn't even like invent the wheel yet.
But it's before, it's before Jesus, because
and they didn't have makeup.
Hannah, you took Bible for so many years, you don't remember that?
Oh yeah,
duh. Was it before Christ or after? I don't know.
But they made like huge, pyramids, and like they didn't even invent the wheel yet. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just crazy to me.
They made all kinds of
They
stuff.
had makeup, and then also they
also took like baths with oils and flowers, and they knew like what kind of oils to use and flowers to use in baths, and they had like these stone bathtubs.
And they would also build large sculptures and large what am I thinking of? That word. Not sculptures, but like
I have no
pyramids
idea.
Or no?
You already said pyramids. Are you talking about like the Sphinx?
Like of themselves. Like large like a huge sculpture of themselves. Okay,
yeah,
so
I know what you're talking about.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
A huge sculpture of themselves. Sometimes they had gold too. Like, how the hell do you make that?
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. So some hieroglyphics show pictures of beings that would essentially, like, it kind of looks like these beings are coming down from the sky, and they're showing the Egyptians like different tools to use and different things to use, which makes me wonder, like, what if because we always go back to what kind of beings were they, because there are definitely a lot of hieroglyphics that show that there is, we know that they believed in gods and different gods and goddesses, but what if
like
there really
flying
was
objects? Like, they would have flying objects that would look like what we've seen today of UFOs, and it'd be like, well, how do they know that, and why does it look like that?
Yeah, even the Aztec Indians and other civilizations, some of their hieroglyphics, I can't say that fast, some of their hieroglyphics are exactly the same as, like, everybody's is the same.
Yeah.
At all. And it's like, you guys didn't know about each other, so how the hell did you, like, know how to
exactly what it looks like and everything.
Correlate. It's not like you could pick up the phone and be like, so tomorrow we're gonna draw
this round thing with like it's gonna fly in the air.
Yeah.
Just to let y'all know.
Aware. Some people would. I've seen this picture somewhere, but I don't know if it's true. It's that picture I showed you about the coin. Remember the alien coin?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was so weird. So it's like a coin that has an alien face on it, right? And then like an alien ship that's over a bunch of, I guess, people, or what is that?
Kinda. It kind of looks like that.
Which is so weird.
The problem I have with that is I can't find any actual, oh, there it is. See, all these pictures are from Pinterest. So I can't find any actual proof. Like, I was trying to look for, like, the History Channel or something like that would show me, like, okay, this is legit. You know, this isn't just... I was trying to find the actual website. If you guys know what we're talking about, and I'll post a picture. If you guys know about the coin that I'm talking about, it's probably not real, but it would have been some cool crap if it would have been. That would have been crazy.
Be.
I don't know. It might not be. So,
let's get into how they built the pyramids.
Yeah,
or
so
how it's
researchers
impossible.
in Egypt discovered a 4,500-year-old ramp system used to haul alabaster stone out of a quarry. And reports suggest that it could provide clues to how the Egyptians built these pyramids. Yet, while the ramp system is a significant technological, oh my god,
we both
discovery, the pyramid connection is still a bit of a stretch. So, yeah, there's even scientists don't even really know completely like how in the crap they're building this, and I read that off of the History Channel website, by the way. So yeah, there's scientists that don't even really know like how they did it. See, there's the quarry and there's some of the rocks. I know that some of their stones for some of their pyramids or some of their structures were found to have what's the word I'm looking for, like
some kind of substance
substance that comes from up the Nile River, which they think that they put them on like these large wooden barges to like, because they had ships and stuff like that, so
to float down the river.
To float them down the river, yeah. Well, I don't know if they had ships, but they had like, you know, some sort of floating device, to float them down the river to get them to where they were going. There's also people that believe that the stones were rolled by ox, like the ox would pull them, and then they would have this pulley system of like rolling, what's the word I'm looking for?
Rolling it on like a heel or something?
No, rolling it on...
like something underneath it?
Yeah, underneath it. Like
so
logs.
Like logs?
Yeah. Yeah. But it's just crazy.
That is crazy. But like how heavy are these things?
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. So the Great Sphinx is one of the oldest monuments in the world, and we're not quite sure about the you know, how old the Sphinx is. I'm trying to type it in because there was something I wanted to talk about with it. Ooh, goodness. But yeah, it's got some people think that this actually used to be the face of like someone important, and maybe they decided to kind of like,
that's why the nose is like not there anymore.
Yeah, like they decided to just, I don't know.
What if it was like an alien nose?
Yeah,
it was actually an alien.
This won't work. We're going to change this. So it says, cut from the bedrock, the original shape of the Sphinx has been restored with layers of blocks. So yeah, there's people that restore the Sphinx, and then they restore the pyramids, because over time it's going to get weared down, and it's going to get, you know. The Sphinx is a limestone statue, so it's made of limestone. That's what I was trying to find. I couldn't remember what it was made of. And the limestone is found like up river, kind of from the Nile. So that's what I was trying to find. What it was made. I knew it was made of something. I couldn't remember.
So, how did they? So it must be like maybe they did put it on the river, and then made the pyramids.
Got it down there, yeah.
Yeah, because that's how they probably. But also that would take a long time, because how much does each block like weigh?
So the Great Pyramids, the Pyramids of Giza, they're the oldest and the largest pyramids. One of the 7 wonders of the world. There's like 3 in a line.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see in that picture right there's 3 in a line.
Yeah.
So the largest is 481 foot high and 2.3 million stones. So that's how many stones are in it. They also cover 13 acres. And it was designed to align with the points of the compass to true north. So they're perfectly aligned to true north. And they're also the 3 pyramids of Giza, like all 3 of them. Mm-hmm. They simulate the alignment of the 3 belt stars of Orion's belt.
That is not coincidence. You cannot tell me.
The air shafts inside of the pyramids point directly to Orion's constellation. Like, all the air shafts in them point directly to the Orion's constellation.
I just don't understand.
Some people believe that that's actually the coordinates for, like, light speed. Like, like if you put in the coordinates to the pyramids of Giza, it will be the equation of light speed. Like, what it would need, what you would need. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what some people believe. Which is crazy to me.
Coincidence. Like, I think, like, how could just like that just doesn't make sense. How could they all do that perfectly?
Yeah, and the pyramids, they actually are like the stones that they use. They're 2.5 tons, which is the size of like a small elephant, like a small African elephant or jungle elephants. They're about that size, not African elephants. But yeah, it's crazy because, I mean, elephants are like anywhere from 2 ton to 7 ton. So I just don't, I mean, I know like people are going to be like, well, you know, they can float them down river. Once they got them down river, how the hell did they get them across? Get them off. Like, I know there's such things
that would
as
take
police.
An entire
but you got to think about
one.
Also, we don't have any record of how long it took them to make these. We have really no idea. And I could look up real quick the actual, like, how long their civilization lasts.
Because I feel like each, like, brick or whatever, like, each that they made would take a day. Even if they did it by the river, they would have to put it on the boat and then, take it off the boat.
30 centuries is how long the Egyptian civilization lasted.
It would probably take like half. I mean, I don't even know.
But we don't know. Yeah, did it take the whole time?
Like,
I mean, you know.
That's ridiculous. Just make a hole in the ground, guys.
Yeah. I was looking to see. Yeah, there's early dynasty period. There's old kingdom, first intermediate period, and then there's middle kingdom for different but after Alexander, I think Alexander the Great took over, and then I can't remember history, man. Shit, that's not what I do. I do true crime.
Yeah, I don't know history.
I used to know history.
Me too. I took American History 1 and 2 in college, but last semester, and I don't remember. I threw that out. I was like, I'm done. Goodbye.
It says for almost 30 years, from its unification around 3100 BC to its conquest by Alexander the Great in 332 BC. Okay. I could have sworn somewhere I'd heard that they were after Christ as well. Maybe not. I guess I was wrong. But I mean, they're still in Egyptian culture today. I'm just saying, like, their empire, as far as, like, the kings and everything, and got, you know, Cleopatra and all that got taken over. So, anyways,
we don't even know, like, how many stuff has been, like,
so yeah,
thrown
I mean,
away
we don't
and
know,
burned and stuff.
Yeah, we don't know how long it took. The stones intended for use in constructing the pyramids were lifted by means of a short wooden scaffold. And that's what kills me. Like, how in the hell did they get to, like, the top of it? Like, I know they could have had, like, pulley systems and stuff like that.
That's true.
But to think about 2.5 tons of pulling something. There's also...
I didn't think about that either. How the hell did they get it up there?
Yeah. Also, in the hieroglyphics, there's not really any mentions that archaeologists have found of slaves.
Yeah.
But the Bible tells us otherwise. You know, because of the pharaohs and Moses and all that.
Freeing the people.
Yeah. So, but maybe they just didn't want to include that into their hieroglyphics. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they did have slaves, just simply because everybody at some civilization point has had some sort of slave to someone else, you know. So, but that's what's crazy.
They would have to have a lot of people, though. If that's the case, it would have to be like a shit ton of people to have all of those and put them all together.
Oh yeah, for sure. And so they also have 8 sides. They have 8 sides. So from our perspective, if you're looking at them, let me find them. Where did they go? I'll get there in a minute. So from our perspective, they kind of look like they have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, maybe. But there was a pilot at one point, and I don't remember how long ago this was, but anyways, he was flying over them, over the tops, and he could count 8 different sides. So it's so geometrically placed that you can't see that it's 8 sides until you're above it.
Wow.
Yeah. So how the fuck did they do that?
How did they do that?
I don't know.
Like, they didn't even invent, like, the wheel, the harpsichord, like, all these other things. And yet they can build that, and then also they can make it, like, how you were saying, like, they built them right on the northern, what did you say? Like, the hemisphere?
No, it's perfectly in line with the North Star.
The North Star, yeah. It's perfectly in line. Like, there's just too many coincidences.
So, another thing that some people think is, what if it was built by aliens, extraterrestrials, or something like that, but they actually were, like, the Egyptian civilization was actually more advanced than we are. So, scientists believe that there's different forms of civilization. There's, I think it's 0 to 7. So a 0 tier would essentially be us. Like, we don't have the means to burn fossil fuels. We don't have the means to to burn fossil fuels. Shit. Hold on. We don't have the means. I got sidetracked by looking at something. We don't have the means to not burn fossil fuels, to use, you know, like only electrical cars and stuff like that. So then the other the second tier, I don't remember exactly what it is. I know the third tier, like, I think the second tier is, no, it's the second one. The second one is something to do with, like, everyone has sustainable energy. So anyways, there's different tiers.
Okay, so, like, more electricity and, like, cars.
Yeah, no one would go, you know, hungry or anything like that. No one would go without electricity, all that stuff. So, anywho, there was this hieroglyphic. You can see it right here, and we'll post a picture of it. But it's a hieroglyphic of a helicopter, what looks to be a helicopter, and, like, a tank, and maybe some other stuff, like, that kind of looks like a that kind of looks like car. Or that kind of looks like a rocket, like a
like a space rocket, like on its side.
Yeah. So some people believe that what if they were time travelers and they actually like came back to that time to like leave different clues
What my theory is
on the hieroglyphics to show us like our history and what's going to happen and stuff like that.
My theory is that
Like if we were to put it all together is my point.
yeah, but my theory is that the Egyptians to that point was like we're all going back in time. Like we've already been through this, like been through this part of our lives, and it's just like we're regenerating. Like the Egyptians were the last known people to be like really smart and know all this, but now we're just like regenerating. Like we've already been through everything.
Well, if you believe that, then how would you believe God?
But I don't know. I just I would just say like
I do
we're
believe
older than we think we are.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. And also, I do believe that I sometimes wonder to a certain extent.
Because how would they know all of this stuff if they don't already know it? You know? Like, how nobody taught them this.
That's why people are saying something about time travel.
I guess so, but...
Yeah, and since it's so precisely aligned with the stars and everything else, there could have been some way to, like... some way for some time travel to happen, is what people think.
Maybe.
Now, like we've always said on this podcast, if you guys have heard us talk about aliens, and the fact that we believe in aliens and we're Christians is because we believe that in this vast universe, there's no way that you can... there's no way that we can be the only people here.
Yeah.
And also, we don't believe that if we were the only people here... Or if we weren't, we don't think that God would like put it in the Bible, because why? I mean, or you know, Christ and his disciples, like why would they write that in the Bible? Just an insert, like, oh, by the way, just so you know, there's people on other planets billions of light years away, but you'll never see them. But I just thought you ought to know, like it wouldn't happen. So, yeah. What if my theory is what if these beings are either some sort of life form that maybe God created on a different planet, and they're so far advanced that they were able to travel.
Yeah.
Because they're older than us, much older than us, their civilization is. And they were able to travel and help us, the Egyptians, and start our civilization.
Sorry, but I just remembered this movie. Have you ever watched Aliens, like the newest one?
Like, yeah, I've watched all the
aliens. I can't remember which Aliens it is, where...
You're talking about like aliens, like Sigourney Weaver aliens?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, there was aliens that created us. Like, they went to this planet and they figured out that these aliens created us. Like, they created different species and they created the alien. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's another thing I was going to bring up is some people actually think there's actual priest, and the Vatican in 2008, I believe it was, they came out and said that they don't think that we're the only things on Earth or in the universe. And so there's actual priests and people that have studied this, and they think that what if these were godlike beings that were created by God, and maybe they ended up with too much power, or, you know, something like that. Yeah. And they came here, or what if they were angels that came down? Because nobody really knows what they were.
What if God is an alien?
Yeah.
You just put it in our little science. You just like mix some chemicals together.
Yeah.
And put you on this planet. Go be fruitful and multiply. Leave me alone.
Well, this is one of the hieroglyphics. So you see there's like this thing in the sky, and it's like beaming down on them. Yeah. And also people are freaked out about the fact that some of the Egyptians, like, their heads look oddly shaped, or they wear these big headdresses in the hieroglyphics, so it's kind of like, what? Like, you know, their heads like cone shaped, like an alien.
Like an alien.
Which I'm not saying I know what an alien looks like, because I ain't never seen one. I know how people describe them. Everybody describes them differently.
There's a lot of people that have seen them that say
The
that
UFOs
very
are
generic
pretty.
thing, but
UFOs are pretty. They're pretty. Flying saucers, UFOs, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty. What's the word I'm looking for?
big.
No.
What?
The stories that people tell.
Like,
Consistency.
Consistency, yeah.
They're pretty consistent. But the aliens, it's always different. And I don't know. We could be totally freaking wrong. And they don't really exist. And maybe the Egyptians were like, we're going to put this shit in here and make them
Fuck
think
up with
there's...
everybody.
Yeah.
They won't even know. Jerry, what are you doing? I don't know. I'm just drawing a circle. Some sticks. But-
Jerry, what are you doing?
I just want to fuck up some people, okay?
I'm going to put this weird face in here and they're going to freak out later in life. Millions of years later.
But
I was
isn't
like,
that
"What is
like, isn't that how that was their language? Like, they didn't have
Hieroglyphics?
actual,
Yeah.
Because I remember that from the Egyptian movie. Remember that movie with The Mummy.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that. He taught me that.
I mean, they talked.
Yeah, but they talked through like pictures, right?
That's
Not
how they
actual,
wrote through pictures. Yeah.
Well, like not actual like A B C D E F, G.
Communication. Yeah.
Yeah.
They did have communication.
They had their own language, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought
an
maybe
Egyptian
they
language.
like wrote in.
But the way that they wrote was through hieroglyphics. If that's
Okay.
what you're asking. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. So anyways, let's go back to the not seven. The fuck? I'm not going to read that because I don't know what that says.
Skaseihaman.
I don't have a clue. That's one of the things that people think aliens
Made.
The 1,000-year-old interlocking fortress walls are made of rocks that weigh as much as 360 tons each. Holy
Wow.
shit. That's not as much as the other one, but that's still pretty big.
That's pretty, yeah.
And each was carried more than 20 miles before being lifted and
Damn.
fit into place with a laser-like precision.
Wow.
Precision. I'm trying to think, where is it? Outside of the old Inca capital of Cusco.
Cusco.
I'm pretty sure that's that word.
Yeah, Cusco.
And I have no clue how to say that. I ain't even gonna try.
It's like, did they have blueprints? Also, did they have blueprints of the pyramid? Sorry, did they have
No, they didn't
blueprints?
have any kind of writings of the
Isn't that
pyramids. no.
weird?
Yeah.
Like, they knew how to make it perfectly and everything, and they didn't have any, like, maybe.
So apparently
was-
the pyramids of Giza were built more than 450,000 years ago.
Mm.
And they were built for ancient queens and pharaohs to be buried there. And every time I think of them being buried, I think of the mummification process. And I learned that from the mummy. Remember?
Yeah. Mummy's teaching us so much.
They
More than
stick a
history
hot-
class ever did.
Hot poker through your nose and they scramble your
Scramble your
brain about
brains
and whip it out
Whip
to
it
your
out.
nostrils. We
Thank
watch
you.
movies. How exactly did the Egyptians build these, you ask? The Great Pyramid is made of billions of precise hewn stones. Oh, that was another thing. So the pyramids, apparently they figured out that by like testing some of the outside of it, and of course it's eroded over time really badly, but a lot of them, like I said, were made out of limestone. A lot of the stones were made out of limestone. So apparently at night they theorized that a long time ago, like when they built it, it had like gold flakes in it or whatever, so at night it would shine, so the pyramids shined.
What?
Talk about beautiful. That would have been gorgeous.
Gorgeous. God, no wonder they were like
loving.
considered rich and powerful. And
yeah. and like
They
lavish.
just seem like so awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even with today's cranes and other construction equipment, building the pyramids as big as they are, would be a formidable challenge. And then there's the astronomical configuration, like we talked about with Orion's belt, as well as a line theorists often point to the fact that these 3 pyramids are in way better shape than other buildings built centuries later. And that's another thing, like, there's also, so the way that they built the pyramids, if you walk in them, there's different small little vents and stuff to where they made it to where there's like an air conditioning flow through there constantly. Yeah.
And then also
crazy.
they did, I remember mirrors.
Mm-hmm. The mirrors
and
for the
lights.
lights. Yeah.
And then also they would have traps for certain kinds of, like, jewels that they had. They would have like booby traps, right?
Yeah.
And that's like really interesting how they like made all that crap.
And then you have Stonehenge, which is a huge circle of stones, some weighing as much as 50 tons, sitting in the English countryside outside Salisbury. I'm not going to say Salisbury because I don't think it's Salisbury, like Salisbury steak. I think it's Salisbury.
Salisbury.
Something like that. Known as Stonehenge. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. No one knows what exactly the meaning of Stonehenge is. That is what freaks me out about Stonehenge. Nobody knows. Nobody knows why the fuck it's there. No one knows. No idea why it's there. Nobody has a clue.
That's weird.
But as with all other sites in this collection that we're talking about, the explanation sometimes is aliens. Scientists have demonstrated its actual some scientists think it's possible to build such a thing using oh my god.
Take your time.
Anyways,
building technologies like this
couldn't have built this without technology, and this was
Yeah.
built 5,000 years ago. Yeah.
It's crazy. And then, like, I know that most of the time, if we can't explain something, we just, like, history has proven just to go, oh, it was aliens.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the time.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce this, but the meaning of it is the city of the gods, and it's an ancient city in Mexico. But I'm not even going to try to. It's T-O-T something.
Okay.
Not even going to try. But if you look at the pyramid, it looks crazy. Like, that looks like bricks that you put on your house. That's a lot of brick.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Like, damn.
And then when you said about how they, like, are still here after everything, like, there's still, like, buildings that we've built that maybe in, like, 50 years would probably, like, just be destroyed.
Yeah.
And they have made it through so much.
Mm-hmm.
All this time is astonishing. Maybe we're going, like, backwards.
Maybe. I was trying to look for Elon Musk. He actually...
What about him?
He made a tweet.
Does he believe in this?
Oh, yeah, he does.
Oh, that's funny.
So his tweet, I'm trying to look for it. This was July 30th, 2020. He said, aliens built the pyramids, like obviously.
Obviously.
And then Egyptian's Minister of International Operations, Rania Mashat, if I said that wrong, I'm so sorry, responded and said, I follow your work with a lot of admiration. I invite you and SpaceX to explore the writings about how the pyramids were built, and also to check out the tombs of the pyramid builders. Mr. Musk, we are waiting for you. So basically she was saying, no, they weren't built by aliens. We can tell you. Which they say that they do know who, like she said, the tombs of the pyramid builders.
Yeah.
But they don't, I don't know. It's just not.
There's some scientists that can't, like, explain.
Yeah, even if you put people's names on it, like, we still don't understand how they did it. Like, and how it really doesn't seem like it took that long. Like, I don't know.
And then also, if it's just coincidence, that's just too many coincidences.
Yeah.
Like, too many perfect coincidences. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So, that's pretty much it, though. It's crazy. It's pretty interesting to me. And I think the gold in the pyramids would have been so cool.
Pretty.
That would have been so cool
So
to
it's
see.
not there anymore?
No, because it's eroded over time
Oh,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. So,
Oh, that's sad. That would have been pretty. I wonder what that would have looked like.
so they cut. It says, how did the Egyptians cut stone? The Egyptians' quarrying technique consisted of digging a trench around a block of stone, then cutting beneath the stone to push it out. So basically, like anybody else would do. So yeah. Anyways, you guys, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all we're going to talk about today. That went by quicker than I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
We had a lot to talk about.
We did have a lot to talk about.
So what do you guys think? Do you think that aliens built the pyramids or had a hand in it? Maybe they like helped them with the helped them develop the technology so they could do it? Or do you think they were just super smart? And
or
if
they
they
could have
were
been time travelers.
Also, if let's say the aliens didn't help with the pyramids or whatever, why are we not as bright, I guess you could say, as the Egyptians, as advanced as the Egyptians? Like, I know we're more advanced, but I feel like if those Egyptians somehow were still here, as far as like, I don't know, preserved in ice or something, if you like woke them up today, I feel like they would be more advanced than some of the people on Earth today.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and then it's kind of crazy.
but if there's anybody out there from Egypt that has any input in this, please let us know, because I just think your culture is very fascinating to me.
Yeah. But it's kind of crazy how back then we would talk certain ways. Like, we had poetry, and people just had a bigger language.
Oh, well, all
and
the
then,
civilizations
like, now,
back in those eras, I mean, they were very well-rounded.
People would read. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't read as much, but, you know, because they couldn't read, but, like, they would read, like...
You're talking about later on.
Yeah, they were just
like in the 18th century and stuff.
And then now, if we look, like, we have technology, but we're, like, not really bright.
Yeah,
like, we're
I feel
all
like technology kind of makes us dumber. We're all just kind of
stupid. Like, we are, if you really think about it.
What?
Like, most of us.
I mean, yeah, most everyone is kind of stupid.
I know, I am.
Yeah. We're very good with technology, but none of us, I mean, except for scientists,
I guess because it's like there,
doctors and all that go and learn about those things.
Yeah. But I guess it's like because we already have it like at our fingertips, we're not itching to know more.
Yeah.
So we're just like, okay, we know that.
Yeah, we can just like hit our voice on Google and be like, hey Google, so what is such and such, and then they instantly tell us, you know. So yeah, we don't ever have to like. That's what I was telling Isaac. Sorry, sidetracked. But my son was doing a project, and it was for Black History Month, and he had to write about someone that, an African American that was inspiring or something like that. And so he picked Will Smith. Well, he was like kind of upset because he had to do this paper, and I was like, well, let me see it. What do you got to write about? And he had a whole layout for him, and all he had to do was Google these different questions and stuff, and then write a paper. And I was like, dude, you would have died back in our day, because you had to like go to the library and read a book.
Read a book.
I mean, you couldn't just
do extensive research and then...
Yeah, you had to put all your sources and which book you got it from. You had to put the author and the title of the book and what page. No, I was like, you'd have died. So anyways, but that's where we've come as far as when that was when I was his age. I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
And we're doing that. And so,
that's how far we've come, but I feel like it's just crazy how the Egyptians could do all that.
You feel like maybe technology is making us dumber in a certain sense. It's making us not want to strive as more.
There's not a lot of inventions as there used to be. Like,
well, there's a lot of inventors,
but like, it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not something like, somebody a long time ago was like, hey, what if we could fly? And people are like, what? Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, there's nothing, like, kind of inventions that is, like, crazy that everyone's like, what? That can't happen. And then it's proven to happen.
Yeah.
Like, it's just been
everybody
same
right
thing.
Now is trying to make, like, really advanced stuff. Like, well, no, like, I'm talking, like, time travel or something like that.
Can your toilet wipe your ass?
Yeah.
Well, now it can.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. I mean, those things.
Oh yeah, they can. Can they do that? They really can.
They spray your butt. Yeah.
What?
I have a friend that's got one. Yeah.
I would not. Never.
I told her, I was like, I can't. I could not do that. She was like, yeah, it takes some getting used to, but
I'd be scared.
Well, it's not just that. It's that you still gotta wipe. You still have to wipe just simply because you gotta get the water off. Yeah. You're gonna drip dry. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it saves on toilet paper because you only have to use like one little square just to pat it dry.
Guess
but
so. We got sidetracked.
Yeah, we got sidetracked. Anyways, all right. So there's not. I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about? I don't really think so.
I think we covered everything.
I think people are gonna turn this off like at 20 minutes. They're like, yeah, we're done.
No, we're done.
We have not. We hope that you guys stuck around.
Yeah.
And enjoyed this conversation. So anyways, yeah, we're pretty much done. I don't want to keep rambling too much, and I don't think there's anything else we really need to cover. But yeah, tell us your thoughts about ancient aliens and any other. I know we didn't touch all of the different pyramids in different places, but I just thought that
there was also a lot that we couldn't understand, like the names. We just didn't want to butcher the names.
Well, yeah, I know they're
Mayan
podcast.
Yeah.
I know the Mayans. Some of their ruins that people definitely think that maybe aliens had a hand in that as well. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Anyways. All right. Well, next week we're going to have probably another alien story for you guys. But we'll actually have like an actual story. And then if it's not an alien one, it'll be maybe some sort of paranormal thing. Because we're trying to kind of... Oh, we should do the paranormal thing about the house here in Florence.
Could do that.
Mississippi. So yeah.
I wonder if there's any kind of like paranormal things with like Easter. Like how it is with Santa Claus, like the...
Oh, probably not.
Probably not, if I'd guess. I've never heard of it.
No. That would be really terrifying. A big giant ass Easter bunny comes for the children. But a lot of people don't celebrate Easter the way we do.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, so... Because Christians... Oh, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't celebrate Christmas the way we do, but... Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, even some Christians, don't even do the Easter Bunny because it's just for the resurrection of Christ. Like, that's all that they do.
Well, I hide my eggs.
All right. Well, anyways, we hope that you guys have a great Easter. Happy Easter to everybody. Mm-hmm. And we will see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.